Hey everybody, this is Bill from GMAT and GRE Math Made Simple. Earlier today I went through and I did the GRE questions that I posed a few days ago, 3 days ago. Now it's time to answer the GMAT ones. Now I have 2 of them there, and we'll start going with these right now. Okay, so one of the questions that were asked was if the ratio of male students to female students in a philosophy class is 3 to 5, and there's a total of 40 students in the class, how many female students are in the class? Well, now we're looking at ratios. When you say 3 to 5, now immediately that means ratio to me. So what that means to me is you could either do it 2 different ways. You could see that since the total is 40, we can make our own equation. We can put equals 40, and since 3 and 5 are going to be the ratios, we can either put a variable there like x, like 3x, and then we can see that when you go through and you do to find out which one is which, it'll be 3x plus 5x because those are the ratios, and equals 40 because those are the ones that are going to be the total number in the students in that philosophy class. So what you do is you add those two up and you get 8x equals 40, and then you divide that and x equals 5. Now in order to find each one, you just put the 5 in for the 3x or the 5x. So since we find out that the total number of people per I guess the multiplier, you call it that, would be 5. So we have 3 times 5, which is 15, which would be the males. Then you have 5 times 5, which is 25, which is answer letter E. Now if you want to do it another way, you can go through and you can make yourself a ratio table. Now what you do is, depending on how many ratios you're working with, since we only have 2, we can make 3 by 3 blocks. We have the male, female, and our total. And then we have our ratio, multiplier, and actual. So what we do here is we put in the ratio 3 to 5, and then you add those two for the first 2 top left and the top middle. And on top right you have the total, which will be the ratio when you add them together. Kind of like how 3x plus 5x equals 8x. Same concept. Now, what we need to find out is the multiplier, which is the second row on the left, middle, and right. But we see that we have a total of 8 for when it comes to the ratio, and we have the actual. So in order for us to get the actual multiplier, you take that 40, which we already found out is the total number of students, you divide it by the ratio added up, which is 8, and the multiplier, which we found out, was 5. Now in order to find out the actual numbers for each one, you multiply the ratio that's up in the top left with the multiplier, which we found out is 5 for all of them, and you get 15 for the male, and then you have 5 times 5, which is 25 for the female. So those are 2 ways that you can go through and do this. Now let's go look at number 2 that we have here. This one might seem like it's more difficult, but reality is it's just like the first one, except there's just more people I have to worry about. I mean, not worry, but there's 2 parts of this question, and you just gotta make sure that you pay attention to this. So the question is, the ratio of apples, bananas, cantaloupes, and oranges at a fruit stand is 5 to 3 to 2 to 6, respectively. The total number of all the fruits is 64. If 4 cantaloupes were added to the fruit stand, what is the new ratio of bananas to cantaloupes? So now, what we're going to do is we're going to make our ratio table again before, and we're going to go and find out the total number of all the fruits, okay? So in order to do that, we're going to go through, and we have apples, bananas, cantaloupes, and oranges, and in total for our columns. And for our rows, we have ratio, multiplier, and actual. So we see they gave us the ratio already, the 5, 3, 2, and 6. Now do what we did last time, which is add those up, and you get a total of 16. Now when it comes down to the total that we have that they gave us already, the actual total, that gives us 64. Now in order for us to get the multiplier, we would take that 64 and you divide by the total we get from the ratio, which is 16. When you do that, it gives us a multiplier for all the fruits, which will be 4. 64 divided by 16 equals 4. Now, in order to go find out the actual number for each one, for the first part of the question, we'll multiply every part by 4. So, for instance, the ratio is 5, 3, 2, and 6. So 5 times 4 is 20, and then we have 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 4 is 8, 6 times 4 is 24. So those are the actual numbers at the bottom. You have 20, 12, 8, 24, and then the total, if you add them all up, should equal 64. Now remember they asked us to do a little comparison between two different ones and a little addition. They say, if 4 cantaloupes were added to the fruit stand, what is the new ratio of bananas to cantaloupes? Okay, so that means that when you go through and do this, you have to add 4 to the cantaloupes that are already there. Okay, so we see here that bananas is 12, so we put 12 on top in a fraction, and then the bottom we have 8, which is what we already found out, plus the 4 that we have there. Now when you go and look at it, it's 12 divided by 12, which, if you want to look at it, is 1 to 1. And if we look at our answers, we will see that C is the correct answer, 1 to 1. Now, it's very important for you to go through and make sure that you get the ratios done, but you also make sure you answer the right question. Because if you were to go through here and find out the answer was 8 cantaloupes and there's 12 bananas, but you forgot to add the 4, you'll see that the answer would be 3 to 2, because it'll be 12 over 8. Make sure you pay attention to every part of the question and answer the question that they ask you, not the one that you think they might ask you. Because what they're going to do is they're going to try to throw a curveball in there on you on purpose to see if you go through and trip over it. Don't do that. Take your time. You have time to do all these questions, and we'll do that for right now. So until next time, until I post some more questions coming up in a few days, I hope you guys have a great night. This is Bill from GMAT and GRE Math Made Simple. You can go to my website. You can share this with your friends. You can get people going. If you have people that are going into grad school, could you please let them know? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Stop.